You've probably heard of Dubai, maybe Qatar, maybe Saudi Arabia, but Bahrain? Most people barely think about it. And that might be the biggest mistake, because hidden in the shadow of its more famous neighbors is a country that almost no one is talking about. A place that's small, quiet, and often overlooked. But once you see what's really there, you start to wonder, how did this place stay so underrated? Because Bahrain isn't trying to compete. It's not screaming for attention. It doesn't need to. It just exists confidently. And that's exactly what makes it different. Imagine landing in a country where modern skyscrapers rise out of the sea. But just minutes away, you're standing in places that are thousands of years old, not rebuilt, not recreated, real. This is one of the oldest trading hubs in human history. Long before oil, long before skyscrapers, Bahrain was already connected to the world. A center of culture, business, and exchange, and somehow that history is still alive. You can feel it. But here's where it gets interesting. Despite its deep roots, Bahrain feels incredibly modern, open, relaxed, more balanced than you'd expect. It's one of the few places in the region where tradition and modern life blend so smoothly. You almost don't notice the transition, and that creates something rare. A sense of ease. Now think about this. In a region often described as strict or intense, Bahrain has built a reputation for being one of the most welcoming and laid-back places you can visit. People here smile easily. They talk openly. There's a sense of warmth that feels genuine, not forced, not staged, just natural. And that's something travelers notice immediately. But what really makes Bahrain stand out is how much it offers for such a small place. Because this country is tiny. You could drive across it in less than an hour, and yet somehow it packs in more experiences than places 10 times its size, luxury shopping malls, beachfront resorts, historic forts, bustling markets, desert landscapes, all within reach. It almost feels unreal, like everything is closer than it should be, and that convenience, it changes how you experience the country. You don't waste time traveling, you spend time exploring, and that makes every moment feel more intense, more memorable. Now here's something most people don't expect. Bahrain was one of the first countries in the Gulf to discover oil. But unlike others, it didn't rely on it forever. Instead, it evolved. It built a strong financial sector, became a regional hub for banking and business, adapted before it had to, and that decision changed everything. Because today, Bahrain isn't just surviving. It's thriving in its own way, quietly, without the spotlight, but with real substance. And then there's something else, something that surprises almost everyone. Freedom of lifestyle, compared to many places in the region. Bahrain feels more open, more flexible, more diverse. People from all over the world live here, work here, build their lives here, and that diversity, it creates a unique energy. Different cultures blending together, without losing their identity. And that's powerful, because it shows something important. That a place doesn't have to choose between tradition and modernity. It can be both. Now imagine walking through a traditional market. The smell of spices in the air, voices all around you, colors everywhere. It feels alive. Then, just minutes later, you're in a sleek, modern cityscape, glass buildings, luxury cars. A completely different world, but it's the same place. C'est contrast. It's what makes Bahrain unforgettable. And then there's the sea, because Bahrain used our city. It's an island nation surrounded by water. And that changes everything, the lifestyle, the atmosphere, the pace of life. There's a calmness here that you don't always find in bigger, busier cities. It's like the country is breathing at its own rhythm, not rushing, not trying to impress, just being, and somehow that makes it more impressive. But let's be real for a moment. Bahrain isn't perfect. No country is. There are challenges, limitations, things that might not match every expectation. But here's the key difference. It doesn't pretend to be something it's not, and that honesty, that authenticity, it's rare. Because in a world where many places are trying to look bigger, louder, more extreme, Bahrain stays grounded, and that's exactly why it stands out. Now, here's something that really makes you think. Why do some countries become global icons, while others remain almost invisible? Is it size, marketing, politics, or just perception? Because if you look closely, Bahrain has everything: history, culture, modern life, opportunity, lifestyle. So why isn't everyone talking about it? Maybe because it doesn't fit into a simple narrative. It's not extreme enough to go viral, not controversial enough to dominate headlines. And in today's world, that means it gets overlooked. But sometimes the most underrated places are the ones worth discovering the most. Because they haven't been overexposed, they haven't trend to trends that were still real, still authentic, still waiting to be experienced properly, and that's Bahrain. A place that doesn't need to prove anything, but has everything to offer. If you've made it this far, you're already seeing Bahrain differently than most people. And that's powerful, because the moment you start questioning what's popular, you start discovering what's valuable. So if you want to explore more places like this, places that are underrated, misunderstood, and overlooked, hit subscribe, because this channel is about showing you the side of the world that most people miss, the places that don't shout, but still deserve to be heard. And trust me, this is just the beginning, because Bahrain is only one story. There are so many more out there, hidden, underrated, waiting, and now you know where to look, because sometimes the most unforgettable places are the ones no one told you about.